I've worked all of my life to live in Italy. We found this place, and now this is our place, and it means everything to me. I love that Tuscan food, it's about basic ingredients and the quality of them. It can take a long time. There's braised meats, there's slow-cooked ragouts and sauces and things. Okay, guys, and now we're ready to make breakfast for dinner. We're gonna put in a fat amount of cream. This prosciutto and melon platter is cured with a ton of pink peppercorn and our big chunks of eggy bread, and we just start lining them up. Boom! Food is a conduit. We make food to take us away to places we've never been and dream about going to. You just need your imagination and a couple of bucks, and you have a ticket to anywhere. So come on over. I love this place. I hope you do too. Okay, guys, and now we're ready to make breakfast for dinner. How much do we love breakfast for dinner? I mean, I think everybody digs, especially my husband, if he's had a late night gig, he either wants carbonara, which is kind of breakfast for dinner, it's bacon, it's eggs, it counts, or French toast, kind of diner food vibe, right? Eggs, bacon, French toast kind of thing. Many of my friends make this because I've been doing this for years. This is called panettone, and it's eggy bread with candied fruit of some sort, most usually. It can also have nuts and a little bit of saffron. It can have little tiny bits of chocolate in it. It can have any sort of ingredient running through it. Pistachios, one of everyone's favorites over the years. And it's good for months, okay? We're well past Christmas. This is still fresh and beautiful. You can make this same dish with something everyone can get. Challah bread. So we want nice, thick cuts of bread. And we want, for every 4 eggs, a good 1/4 cup of cream. In Italy, cream's la panna. We're going to put a heck lot of cream into our egg mixture. That's why we want, especially with an eggy bread, you want the slices to be thick so that they absorb but don't collapse. The trick with lost bread, it's French, not Italian, by the way. The trick with bringing back pain perdu, or lost bread, is to cook it slowly enough that the outside gets golden and the inside has a chance for the custard to cook. So we really want to make the custard and ideally let it stand a bit. Coat the bread right before it goes into a not too hot, moderate heat pan with lots of butter and let it cook slowly so that it cooks all the way through and that custard really has a chance to develop. So we want nice thick pieces of eggy bread, with or without fruit, up to you. This one has candied citrus from Sicily. It's a Sicilian panettone, which is good because I'm half little Sicilian girl. So, well, old lady, but Sicilian old lady at this point, but you know. Now, when we're cracking eggs, as Jacques Pepin tells me, we always keep the fresh eggs on the counter. We don't keep our eggs in the fridge. And as the eggs get a little bit older, that's the time to make boiled eggs, put them in whatever you want, and stuffed eggs and deviled eggs. Those are actually best made with an egg that's a little bit older. When we crack eggs, we crack them on the counter. You know, the outside of a chicken egg can get contaminated. People worry about salmonella, not so much in Italy. I mean, please, what's the odds? But Jacques Pepin always cracks his eggs on the counter, and it's Jacques Pepin. So do what he does. I do what my mother says, what my grandpa said, God rest his soul, and anything Jacques Pepin says, period. And usually what my sister says if it has anything to do with baking, because I suck at it. So we're gonna put in a fat amount of cream. Oh no, you didn't measure. That's right, I didn't, because that's not fun. I just put in what I know is a fair amount of fat, and it will make this taste delicious. Now we're gonna poke the yolks. What does that mean? Well, literally, think of your whisk as a rounded off spear, and you are poking the yolks to make them scramble faster and more enthusiastically mingle with the rest of the party. Now, for this dish, I love both. Thank God I live half-time with my sister Maria, and she has lots of extracts. I put both vanilla and almond extract in the custard. Now, if you're making this with challah bread, of just plain eggy bread, instead of a highly already flavored bread, I would also add a little ground cinnamon and nutmeg. We have so much going on here already. We have vanilla, we have almond, we have tons of candied fruit and saffron. I know, weird, right? But I don't know, man. It's Sicilian bread, and they like saffron. And it's a pretty color. So we're going to take our toppings. Now, Americans like maple syrup. I prefer warm acacia honey, Italian honey, on toasted bread if I make it, especially in Italy, because there's acacia honey everywhere here. My husband likes the maple syrup. I enjoy just a little drizzle of honey. I think other people do too. We have a lot of Italian friends here and people that live and work in Italy. So I thought I'd put up both. So I have my largest cast iron pan ready to cook off our French toast. It's over very low heat, and we have our butter ready to go. Now what we're gonna do is move along to prosciutto and melon right after this. Okay, this prosciutto and melon platter. This guy is cured with a ton of pink peppercorn, and I just love it with melon. I love that little pop. Okay, this prosciutto and melon platter is from a little teeny tiny shop in town that I could literally walk to. And we're just going to take this and fold it up. Right? But this guy is cured with a ton of pink peppercorn. Pink peppercorn is the little firecracker of peppercorns. And I just love it with melon. I love that little pop. It's not too hot. It's not like putting chili pepper on it, but it does have a little, that's really fun. So we're gonna pile it up. And what my mom taught me when we were working in restaurants together for a very long time is that anytime you serve meats, whether it's a deli platter, or in this case, prosciutto and melon platter, you need to put air back in them, because when we slice meats and pile them together, the fat connects with the other fat, right? So it becomes kind of one thing. And when we take it out of the fridge, immediately, all of that starts to melt together. So it gets harder and harder to work with and harder to make it look pretty. You want this to look, hey, come on over here, grab a fork, and you can easily grab some of me and put it with whatever else is on the plate. You can't do that once this gets too warm, so you gotta work kind of fast. And that air makes it look appealing to the person who's going to be eating it. And that's the point in taking the time to do it. So Mom used to, if she had to yell at someone on the line and they were taller than her, we had a lot of men, of course, that worked the line, big, strong guys, because my mom would take up to 12 buses at a time, or people on their way to Montreal in the winter to go skiing. So she had a lot of big, tough guys, right? If she wanted to discipline them or speak to them about something, my mother would go and get a milk crate. She's like 4'11", comes to like my armpit, and I'm not a tall person. She would get up on the milk crate so she could look them in the eye and tell them exactly what they did wrong, and here's how they can fix it and keep from getting fired, ultimately. She would do this while wearing gorgeous clothes that she bought at Cahoe's manufacturing outlet, about an hour from her house, like stunning clothes that were just the tiniest sizes that no one in America could buy because she weighed about 90 pounds and was 4'11". So she'd cover these beautiful outfits with beautiful little shabooties, I called them, and stand up on the milk crate and shake her spatula at these giant guys. Anyway, some of the fondest memories of my life. Now we're gonna cut melons. So we take the ends off so we have stability. And you trim around the outside. Boop. Scoopy, scoopy. Okay. So I'm just gonna finish cutting up the fruit. That's good. So I'm just gilding a lily with extra peppercorn. And we always serve this in my family with lime. So, more butter and our big chunks of eggy bread drop into our custard, and they go into the pan. Okay, so this pan is on super duper low, and look how hot it is. It's kind of freaking me out, actually. Come over here. Oh, the little bucket's gonna go. I caught you, you little bugger. This is going to be a very careful operation. Little buddy's coming off. This pot is metal, so it's going to stay warm for a while. We'll just put him off to the side. Put the petulant child on the back burner now, even smaller. So, more butter into our pan, and our big chunks of eggy bread drop into our custard with the vanilla and the almond, and they go into the pan. Now, if you make this with challah bread, you should also add a little sugar to your batter, because you don't have the benefit of the candied citrus. So you're not gonna get that sugary feeling that you get when you are using a panettone. Just an option. Don't crowd your pan, and be patient. We do not want black outsides and raw insides. We want to cook this as low and slow as possible. So now we have a nice, even consistency on our bread. It's not collapsed. And we just start lining them up. I think this is our last round. Okay, we have our beautifully browned French toast cooked all the way through with our delicious custard with vanilla and almond. We have our prosciutto and melons, and we have, in case anybody wants those antioxidants and to feel better about all of the, well, honey, maple syrup, bread, butter, egg custard. They could put a few antioxidants on top and it, you know, makes it all super healthy. Enjoy. A shakerato is a espresso shaken with ice and cream. So John added booze to his shaky shakies. I'm gonna have a regular shaky shaky later. Okay, so John is actually going to make you a cocktail. We were at the Russi.
The Hotel Russi in Rome.
In Rome. And at the cocktail bar, I actually just ordered an iced coffee. A shakerato is a espresso shaken with ice and cream.
Yep.
And they serve it in a cocktail glass.
A martini glass.
And it's delicious.
It's called a shakerato, and we could never remember that name.
No, we could.
I couldn't.
I thought it was more fun to just call it a shaky shaky. And I would go to the bar late morning every day and say, can I have a shaky shaky? And they would give me the shakerato.
They kind of knew what you meant.
My husband
Not at first.
Turned it into it for himself.
Of course.
Not me.
I
still
booze.
like a regular shaky shaky. John is Mr. Cocktail Time. So John added booze to his shaky shakies. So your shaky shaky is?
It's espresso, milk or cream, and then I just add a little bit of Kahlua or any coffee liqueur. We happen to have this here.
And? Didn't you get chocolate bitters or something?
No, we couldn't find chocolate bitters, but for a
Never
garnish.
Never mind, but you can try it with chocolate bitters because that's what was in his head.
But we did, because Maria is here all the time, so she bakes all the time, and she had cocoa powder in the back, so I'm going to use that instead of the bitters.
Okay.
All right, we ready?
We are. I'm going to let you do this. Why don't you and Maria, because Maria loves Kahlua and she loves coffee, you guys have these. I'm going to have a regular shaky shaky later to wakey uppy uppy.
No boozy boozy for hersey.
Well, I still got to cook the foodsy foodsy.
Okay, good. Goodsy woodsy. All right, so we got, we're doing about 2 ounces of espresso per drink. And I pulled these espresso shots a little earlier in the day so they wouldn't be like piping hot and melt the ice and the drink wouldn't be, it would be too watery. I'm also putting in about 2 ounces each of cream. And you could use skim milk, I guess, or regular milk. No.
Don't say that.
Can't use skim milk, only cream.
Pana or half and half. I don't think they even do skim milk in Italy.
Well, don't they need it for cappuccino?
Yeah, oh, that's true. It froths. It froths better.
Not as dumb as I look.
Making cappuccino. I bet you love a backseat cocktail maker.
It. Backseat cocktail driver. And then this is the optional but the most fun part. I'm adding.
Maria actually just whimpered a yay in the corner.
Got to keep the sister-in-law happy. Then now here comes the shaky shaky part. Also the spilly
Yeah, you didn't throw any ice
espresso
on the counter, honey.
on my sleeve.
Oh,
Hey.
you just put it up your sleeve?
Yeah, I went
All
up my
right.
sleeve instead of the counter. Like a magician. Ooh, there's an ice cube. Now, shaking is faster than stirring, so just gotta do about 17 seconds or so until your fingers are like bitter cold from the tin. Ooh, it's looking pretty good. And then, I've never done this before. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, I guess over the drink is probably where I wanna do it. This is why I don't bake. And just to make it look a little pretty, I'm adding a couple of espresso beans in there. And there is the messy, messy, shaky, shaky.
I love shaking.
Salute.
Cheers.
Ooh, that cocoa powder is a good idea.
I told you.
Yeah.
Have good cocoa powder.